Well, guys, I've got my mixer grinder in operation. I made a menagerie of PVC and ABS parts that I put together up there to allow this piece of 2.5 inch PVC to come through, then put a fitting on it because I wasn't going to be able to get this to go through this collar, and it has to lock in behind back here by where the grinder plate's at. So got it put together, heated this end up, smashed it down with a jig inside of it to keep it from going completely flat and make it pretty nice. And I've got it operating. It needs some adjustments. I need to be able to turn it off if I'm using these baggies. As soon as the baggie's full, you got to get it shut off or it'll just keep running. It has a limit switch back here that I found after 2 hours of trying to figure out why it wasn't running. That means that the lid has to be closed in order for it to turn. And so I may end up rigging from that limit switch to operate, to shut it on and off. There's another lever down here that engages and disengages the auger, but I'm having a hard time getting that to operate while it's engaged. It'll go in and out while it's shut off. There doesn't seem to be a good on-off switch. And I could get a regular one. That's what I really need, is a pedal where I could just sit here and stomp it with a pedal and turn it on and off, and I may end up rigging that eventually too. For right now, just to get this done, I'm just holding the baggie on there till it gets full, and then I'm lifting the lid up. So I'll get you guys set up here on a bucket and you can actually watch it work. Been working on the timing of it and things, and I may end up putting a ramp off of it and running it out between two sheets of like wax paper, and then I can just cut them off as it goes. I have a small conveyor belt that would work great, and feed it along, and then I could just cut it, but we'll see. We will go ahead and demonstrate kind of how it's working. So, because the slow part now is going to be stopping it and putting a new baggie on every time. I like these baggies, but for production's sake, I may have to go to some other paper. The butcher paper I use is nice. It's just too big, way bigger of a roll than I need for this operation. But I might try cutting some of that down. But, help if I actually engage the auger. So there it is. It's in the baggie. I can smash it down and flatten it a little more. Kind of a pain when you have to use one hand to lift the lid to shut the machine off, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was, where I had to reach in the bucket and grab it and shove it down in this baggie. So we'll go ahead and run this through this batch and get it done, and then I'll have the pollen sub I need for the immediate future. Then we'll work on getting this set up to be even higher production. If I set up that conveyor belt running through here, I could probably drive a cutter off of it too that would cut it every 6 inches or so, and then you just have to stand at the other end and grab them off and put them in a box. So we'll keep playing with it, but at this point it has helped immensely, and it seems to be operating and mixing pretty well. There's some chunks of sugar still in here, but I just threw some in just last minute to add a little sugar to it. So anyhow, another semi-success.